setup that can be opened by the Lapu Lapu. Yeah, it might be very risky because the Lapu Lapu will be the opener here. With like gonna be just like what you mentioned, having the weakness point free to the side of 1-1. But we will just see it inside of the game here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first game of Best of 3 series between Philippines and also Vietnam in the Asia Regional Qualifier Southeast Asia match here.
Remember as well, ladies and gentlemen, that the winner of this match will be going straight to the Southeast Asian Finals for the playoff spots to get into the main stage, to qualify for the main stage later on. Now, looking at the lanes, honestly, Super Marco should have an okay time. Sure, he does get outranged, but he can just continue to farm up until level 4, where he reaches that power spike where he can actually go for a lot of these team fights. But also something pretty interesting in the early game here, Vela, what a lot of teams have been doing is the junglers haven't really been caring too much about the Lethal Wanderer. It's basically the battle of the mid duo for that Lethal early on.
Yeah, maybe they just like really want to focus to get a neutral minion right now. They just want to get the level 4 as soon as possible. They really need it. But look at this Kyle TZ. He's still playing that aggressive, even trying to stall the opponent's jungle here, trying to get the benefit of it. Even the rotation going to get the gold buff and preparing, maybe set a barrier nearby the turtle. But I don't think it's gonna be a good idea right now, since in the bottom lane it's gonna be like full of people that is gonna be trying to do a rotation. But in the top lane, I see that Yandere actually doing a really great job to just like avoiding the rest of the player, especially the damage that can be given by the Philippines. They really need a good setup, but in the mid lane, Man of Blast.
Yeah, able to connect there. Also, the final slash onto the back. Not going to be picked off here, but the bravest fighter is going to be able to find one back on the board now. Kaltizi with a good joke. It's going to be the fear coming in from Few, trying to disengage here, getting Kaltizi the cover he needs to get out. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Hehe is going to be able to clear out that wave. So right now, it's still pretty neutral when it comes down to the first turtle. Up top, though, you can already see a level difference with just that one cannon minion that Yandere lost.
One cannon million, but it's 2 and 1 for the kill. Just now, we can see that actually the setup by the IMU here with the Man Blast that is opening up towards Vietnam and having a really good follow-up. They already have like very good setup right there. But oh, in the meantime, the turtle.
Yeah, Fuse actually going to be the one taking it. That's a 4-man Fatal Links. Kaltizi trying to follow it up, but it will not happen. He doesn't have enough damage unless Joe just comes in over to Kaltizi, getting him that kill. Vietnam able to equalize in terms of the team fighting presence here, but with that turtle, it should still be okay for Team Philippines.
I feel like Kaltizi having really good kill down there, but the exchange that they were doing actually is kind of, it feels like a kind of waste. Like, you know, they are getting the turtle, but they are unable to have like follow-up things, since like the opening or counter setup that is being brought is actually really good. But the Pyro attack from Man of Blast with IMU is being brought open right now, and Nard able to run away from this. No one is actually being picked off at this rate, but in the bottom lane, we see that actually this Lapu Lapu getting something else, trying to get over the objective. While in the top lane, I think there's another movement going on here.
Oh, very aggressive by Super Marco, gonna get chunked by that turret. And also, with Nart up top, he does prevent that dive from happening here. But it does seem like Owen still wants to go for it. Has the flicker, has the Fatal Link. He's holding on to it right now, onto Nart. It should be a Fatal Link get, but man, that Guardian's Bulwark is really helping it out. Bottom lane, almost a kill. Super Marco able to find the kill anyways here with the crossbow of Tang, getting it done, but Hehe is hunting for them, understanding that they will probably recall down there, just going to try to pin them down, but it's still a good positioning by Super Marco, able to disengage and get out of that turret range. Down below, Flat Teasy is really struggling here, despite him being in the winning matchup. Jumping back in with the Vengeance procs now, forcing a defensive bravest fighter from Meow, and that's gonna be Few who steals it away as well. Should be more pressure for Team Philippines here to take the turtle for free.
This is only like minute number 5, but the actions that happen is just like quite the mid to late game. There are plenty of things that happen, but the turtle is directly being taken by the side of Philippines along with one pick off here. Meow being picked off to the hand of the Philippines, and it's 5-4. The goal differences is not too far from one to another. Actually, in the 5 minutes, you're having like almost 2,000 gold lead. It's pretty good, even though that it's not that far as we are expecting here, because we thought that actually with the rotation that can be made, it's actually going to be good. But oh, Veteling is already being used without anyone being picked off here from the side of Team Vietnam. So actually, they keep trying to push it towards Vietnam in the gold lane along with the uh, bottom lane, Isaac.
The thing about Ogwen here, Vela, is the fact that he really doesn't save any of his resources at all. He just uses the Fatal Links, uses all these resources every single time it's off of cooldown. And that really does do a bit to Vietnam when it comes to pressure, right? Because when he doesn't use it, when it's off of that cooldown, Vietnam are going to be kind of pressured into thinking that he's always going to be somewhere, some way, looking for a way to get into those team fights or a pick-off as well. So Vietnam have been playing it very, very passively since Ogwen have been getting those crazy Fatal Links. And you can already see the positioning as well by Ogwen, not just being a roamer that is looking for kills, but being a roamer that can actually open up the map really well, spotting out 4 people up top. There's a lot of vision provided by Ogwen. Now they can use it for a play. Conceal popped in by Ogwen. 2 Athena shields being bought already by Kaltese and Ogwen. You can see the respect as well here for the Farsa very early on.
Yeah. They are waiting for a perfect movement to do something. They are trying to get over the battling that might happen right now, actually. No, not going to be opening up the battling. It's just going to be a pick up towards North here in the top lane. It was like, just like what you're saying, this Ogwen, since yesterday, we saw how is his movement actually opening up a lot of pushes, giving the information for Philippines to walk freely, to do their job, to have that good objective gameplay that they are doing. They're already getting the bottom and also top lane one, but so far with the pressure that can be given by the presence of this Lolita and Rotofarsha, they might be going for something after the mid lane, Mirko.
2-man Fatal Links, and it's instantly just them deleted off of the map. They don't even need a Final Slash to combo it together. Usually, you see that combo, Fatal Links into Final Slash, and then they just wipe them out. But you can see how far Philippines are ahead now with a 5,000 gold lead. Super Marco is definitely a problem here in the mid stage for Vietnam. Meanwhile, for Vietnam, they really just gotta have to wait for the Farsa and the Leslie to scale up to be these monsters. And again, it's just purely class from Ogwen. The timing as to when he actually jumps in and the coordination with the team as well to actually bait out that Numenam Blast. Because the Numenam Blast was active there and because Team Philippines basically just stood there like they didn't care, it gave the opening for Ogwen to actually just flank and wait for that timing.
And now they are going to be trying to do it again. The perfect match, giving another information. Even the Wings by Wings frequently used to just like avoiding the presence, the position from Ogwen here, the opening that they can try to break out towards Team Vietnam. But the thing is, like, Nart and also this Farsha, they really need a setup for the high ground. I think like they still can try to maybe trying to get someone from the Philippines unless Ogwen jumping in with the flicker along with the Fatal Lane to try to pick up the players coming from Vietnam. With 6 assists so far in the hand of Ogwen, we see how frequent he is trying to sneak out, trying to pick off the player of Vietnam. He is doing it, keeps doing it, and trying giving the pressure over and over until Vietnam playing as they cannot go out from the cage. They just like being caged here, not able to try to seek for anything, but they really need the Lord. That's why maybe
they're being suffocated.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. You really want to get over this Lord, but there's no chance for them. It's just like pretty hard since all of the movement coming from Philippines just like blocking them all the way.
it's just beautiful movement all around, right? This is what you need to do when you have the lead. You don't really need to force any of these crazy, unnecessary team fights. When you have that lead, it's the typical Filipino style of play, that Filipino discipline, right? You have the lead, you play through the waves, you get the proper setup with the map pressure that you've already built up, and here you can see as well that sure, they've been respecting Vietnam a whole lot with the way they're playing, but when we look at the itemization, Super Marco is definitely feeling super confident here with a full damage build, even the Scarlet Phantom being built up. That's the Feather Airstrike from Few, dealing a whole lot of damage, and the Fatal Links as well, bringing Meow back for the final slash to connect, but he actually hasn't even used the final slash. Flap Teasy decides to use it on the turret there. Again, just trying to siege with the First Lord, and they're doing a great job at just staggering the minions to actually crash into the turrets to bait out that turret passive. Now, coming in again, they're going to be able to take almost all of the base turrets. Yeah, every single one. Yandere can't even do anything here. He's walking up just to clear out the minions, but he doesn't deal enough damage. No power spike just yet for Team Vietnam. That suffocation the Philippines have been doing towards them is really working, man. They haven't been able to get any gold back.
And they are unable to play aggressively towards Philippines because of the presence from the Kyle TZ also with Ogwen here. Look at that one. Actually, based on the damage, they're supposed to have like tons of damage with the Farsha, with the Leslie, along with the Karina. But even the Karina, whenever he wants to jump in to try to pick off the player from Philippines, it means that they really need to all out. They really need to dive. And it means they can also be picked off here. But oh, this is not looking good. In the bottom lane, Nard might be being picked off there, but the rest of the players might try to run away from this, Miracle.
Super Marco just picks up another kill like it's nothing. Ogwen with the Fatal Links as well, bringing Yandere back. Even with the flicker, it does not matter. Ogwen can just respond with a flicker by himself, and this is what I was talking about, the free weakness points. He can't even get the crossbow of Tang out. Super Marco does too much damage for the crossbow of Tang to even come out. Joe now not going to be able to do anything. That's the now blast flicker combo from Few, sealing it away. An absolutely dominant game number 1 for Team Philippines.
It is dominant game. To be honest, this is kind of one-sided